Legalities are sometimes used to demonstrate that might is right. But Robin's band has also proved that sometimes right is might.
Robin, listen to the birds. They sound so happy.
And who wouldn't be on such a beautiful spring day? Aren't you happy?
Oh.
Don't be sad, Marion. I know what you're thinking.
Do you?
As long as I'm an outlaw, I can't ask you to marry me. You know that. But when King Richard returns from the wars and is justice again in England, then I shall be lord of the manor of Locksley, and you shall be my lady.
Do you remember when we were children how we used to argue every spring about who heard the first cuckoo?
And you used to cheat.
I didn't. Well, once perhaps.
You must have. Everybody knows that the first cuckoo is always heard in the woods at Locksley.
Robin, couldn't we go there?
To Locksley?
Oh, yes, please. I'd love to see it again. And besides, it will be my home one day.
It's not even my home now. It's Sir Charles du Laurier's. And I don't think he'd exactly welcome the rightful heir.
You mean he might hand you over to the sheriff?
I mean, he most certainly would if he caught me.
You're quite right, of course. It was silly of me to suggest it.
No, not at all. We'll go.
Oh, no, not if it's dangerous. I can go by myself any time. Sir Charles is always inviting me.
Don't argue. I said we're going. And as the future lady of Locksley, you must learn to obey your lord.
But I don't...
Obey, I said.
Yes, my lord.
Well, there it is. Still sorry we came? Hey, look. That looks like old Martin's barn. It could even be his cottage.
Robin, it isn't safe for you to go any further. Someone will put it out.
That's one of my farms. Martin's one of my tenants. He's an old man. I must see that he's all right.
Someone's coming.
He can't turn me off my land. It's against the law.
Sir Charles makes the law in Locksley.
He can't change the custom of the manor.
Hold your tongue, sir.
I'm no serf to be bought and sold. I'm a copy holder. It's in Sir Edward of Locksley's will.
No, Robin, there are 4 of them all armed.
Martin's right. He is a copy holder.
What good will it do him if you get yourself arrested? Who's that?
I think he went round that way, didn't he?
That's Hereward. You remember him? We used to go fishing together when we were boys. He'll tell us what's going on.
Ever since Sir Charles was there, it's been the same.
It's all wrong.
Oh, no, we
You're
don't.
wrong.
You two go ahead and see where they're taking old Martin. I'll follow you in a minute.
All right.
Master Robin.
It's good to see you again, Hereward. This is the Lady Marion.
Well, lady, but what are you doing here, Master Robin? If Sir Charles should
Never
hear...
mind about Sir Charles. What were they doing to old Martin?
They burnt his house and turned him off his land.
But why?
Because Sir Charles is trying to get rid of us copyholders, my lady, before he has to grant us our rightful benefits.
But those benefits are legally yours under the terms of my father's will.
How does your father's will come into it, Robin? What does it say?
All copyhold tenants of Locksley must perform certain services for the lord of the manor. If these services are duly done for 3 years running, then the tenants may hold their own lands in perpetuity without let or hindrance, provided they pay their ground rents. Have I remembered it right, Hereward?
Right enough, Master Robin.
And have you performed these services since Sir Charles took over Locksley?
We have, all of us, and the 3 years will be up on Lady Day.
This is disgraceful. Sir Charles can't behave like that.
Oh, maybe he won't much longer. I've talked to some of the others. If we could rise in a body and kill Sir Charles...
No. Rebelling and murdering your lord will get you nowhere. Now, this is a matter of law.
What good's the law to men like us? Or to you, for that matter, Master Robin? You're an outlaw yourself. Why not join us and be our leader?
That's not the answer, Hereward.
Well, after all, you are the rightful lord, Master Robin. Our first loyalty is to you.
Get together as many men as you can trust and bring them here 1 hour after moonrise tonight.
Then you will join us.
I'll join you, but not in rebellion or murder. I'll go now and tell the others.
Burn his ricks, I say. Soak his grain. Slaughter his cattle. Set fire to his house.
My house someday, I hope.
But if we want our rights, we must fight for them, Master Robin.
I agree, but don't put yourselves in the wrong. Fight him in the law courts. Go before the sheriff and get an order compelling Sir Charles to honor my father's will.
The sheriff's a friend of Sir Charles. I don't believe he'd ever make an order against him.
He'd have to. He wouldn't dare give an illegal judgment in open court. As long as you've performed your services for 3 years, you can't lose.
Well, we've done our services all right. Road mending, fencing, hedging, ditching, everything.
Supposing you're right, who's to plead our cause? We're poor men. We can't afford to hire a lawyer.
Well, I think you can safely leave that to me. Well, what do you say? Do we take Sir Charles before the sheriff?
Well, I think we should. He burned down my home.
I say yes. What about you, Hereward?
Right, I'll go along with you. It's worth a try. What do you say, men?
Good, then I'll see that the case is set down for hearing immediately. And on Lady Day, how does the will go? The great bell of Locksley shall ring, and the tenants shall gather in the hall. And having sworn allegiance to their lord shall grant them their lands to hold in perpetuity without let or hindrance. Now go to your homes, my friends. Good night to you all.
Good night, Master Robin.
Well, from now on, it's up to us. Tomorrow we'll ride to Nottingham, get the case set down for a hearing before Lady Day, and hire ourselves a lawyer.
Spare something for poor lame Ned. Bless your master, bless your master. May you prosper. Spare something for poor lame Ned. Bless you, your lordship, bless you. Spare something for poor lame Ned. Bless you, your ladyship, bless you. Spare something for poor lame Ned.
What luck?
The case is down for hearing on the 23rd.
2 days before Lady Day. Fair enough. What about the lawyer?
No use, Robin. I've been to every attorney in Nottingham.
Won't any of them take the case?
They're all too frightened. They depend on the sheriff's license to practice here. They daren't oppose a friend of his.
Then I'll have to ride to the next shire and find one who's not afraid of the sheriff.
But will there be time?
If I take horse to Lincoln this afternoon, I should be back Friday morning.
And if you're not?
The case will go by default. Then there'll be no holding Sir Charles. Don't you worry. I'll be here with a lawyer if I have to wear out 50 horses.
Bless you, my lady. Heaven will reward you for your generosity. May you prosper.
Milady, is the lawyer here?
No, Robin hasn't come back yet. I can't think what's happened to him.
Well, then what are we going to do?
No, Hereward, I simply don't know. You better go in.
Lady Marian,
Sir Charles,
it's a pleasant surprise.
I hear you're having trouble with your tenants. As a neighbor, I'm interested.
Oh, as a neighbor, we should be more neighborly. 3 years I've been at Locksley, and you haven't accepted one of my invitations. Now, please, Lady Marian, come whenever you like. There'll always be a warm welcome for you at Locksley Hall.
Thank you, Sir Charles. I'll remember that.
Ah, Sir Charles.
Yes.
So you've come to hear the case against you.
Oh, more than that, my Lord Sheriff. I've come to conduct my own defense.
Oh. Is that wise? Of course, I shall do all I can to help you, but I don't see how you can upset that will. If the tenants have really performed all their services, I shall be forced to give judgment against you.
Yes, I'm perfectly aware of that. But I'm not worried.
Very well. Shall we go in?
Certainly.
You sit by the Lady Marian.
Silence in court.
In the Shire Court of the Lord High Sheriff of Nottingham, case is set down for hearing on behalf of the copyholders of Locksley against Sir Charles de Laurier, Lord of Locksley, requiring that the said Sir Charles shall faithfully observe the terms of the will of the late Sir Edward of Locksley. Who appears for the copyholders? Does no one appear for the copyholders?
There is no one here to plead. The case goes by default in favor of Sir Charles.
My Lord Sheriff, if you please.
Who are you?
Master Ricardo, lawyer of Lincoln. I appear on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Silence in court!
Very well, Master Ricardo. You may proceed with your plea.
My Lord, under the terms of the will, have complied with the terms of the will. Therefore, I request the court to order Sir Charles to reinstate all wrongfully dispossessed tenants, and further to order that on Lady Day next, the great bell of Locksley shall be rung as a sign that all tenants may henceforth hold their lands without let or hindrance on the part of the said Sir Charles.
Sir Charles, have you anything to say before I make the order?
Yes, my lord.
I admit that these men have performed some of the duties stated in the will, but there is one, commonly known as broom service, which has been neglected. It is provided in the will that the main apartments of Locksley Hall shall be swept, scrubbed, scoured, and polished by the copyhold tenants. This has not been done.
Well, Master Ricardo?
My lord, I understand these men offered to perform their broom service, but the offer was rejected by Sir Charles.
It is quite right. Quite right. I prefer to have my own men clean the place.
You also refuse to admit the copyholders to the hall.
As I have every right to do.
My lord, I suggest that under the circumstances, the offer be accepted as fulfilling the conditions of the will.
The will is perfectly clear, Master Ricardo. An offer is not enough. All the services must be actually performed. Sir Charles, I shall make an order binding you to observe the terms of the will, provided the copyholders have completed their broom service by Lady Day. If they do not, the copyholders will forfeit their claim. The case is closed.
It's no use, Master Robin. Sir Charles has been too clever for us.
Has he any right to stop them?
Every right, I'm afraid. An Englishman's castle is his home.
He won't let them in. How can they do their broom service?
They can't. Sir Charles has the law on his side. There's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, yes, there is. We're going to clean that hall for him whether he likes it or not.
But how?
I shall need you as an independent witness. Hereward, have some of your friends outside the gate to keep Sir Charles's guards busy. The rest of you meet me 2 hours after sundown. And Marion, you are going to accept Sir Charles's invitation at last.
What on earth are you doing? Who told you to do that?
No one, Sir Charles, but you can see for yourself the hall's filthy.
Well, of course it's filthy. It's meant to be.
Meant to be.
Until tomorrow? Now go on, get out, both of you. And the rest of my staff, tell them to take the night off. I don't want to see any of you again till tomorrow. Excellent. Excellent.
I'm the Lady Marion Fitzwalter. Take me to your master, please.
Certainly, my lady. This way, please.
But she's going in. Why can't we go in?
Right now. lads. Tie him up, gag him.
I don't like it. I'm not at all sure we're not guilty of breaking and entering.
I may be, but you and the tenants aren't. The gate was open from the inside, wasn't it?
Where shall we start, Master Robin?
Upstairs in the bedchambers, while Sir Charles is entertaining the great hall. This way.
The Lady Marian Fitzwalter, my lord.
Lady Marian?
Good evening, Sir Charles. I've come to take advantage of your very kind invitation.
Yes, well, that's very
Riding
nice.
back from Nottingham, my horse went lame, so I should be most grateful for your hospitality. I hope I'm not interrupting your evening.
No. It
I'm
just so happens that
absolutely
tonight-
frozen. What? No fire?
No. It seems to have gone out.
Poor Sir Charles, I can see you need a wife.
A wife?
Imagine letting your servants treat you like this. Oh, just look at those cobwebs. Sir Charles, really, you ought to speak to your steward. What this place needs is a thorough spring cleaning.
Yes. Do sit down, please.
Now, let me see. Now, this must be the main guest chamber in the west wing.
You must be tired after your day in the saddle. I'll show you to your room.
Oh, no, Sir Charles, I never go to bed as early as this.
Oh, you ladies, I don't know how you do it. Oh, perhaps you'll excuse me if I go up.
Sir Charles, is that how you entertain your guests? Now, do sit down and let me give you some more wine.
Oh, very well.
Would you like me to sing for you?
Oh, charming, yes. Charming.
Yeah, well, you'll have to work faster than that if you want to be finished by morning. Oh, and don't forget to lay and light the fire.
What do you think you're doing? You? So that's your little game, is it? Hi, Sergeant!
Heaven defend me. A clear case of assault. What have I let myself in for?
Oh, I shouldn't worry. You'll probably get off with a light sentence.
Summer is a-comin' in, loudly sing cuckoo. Grow is seed and blow is mead, and spring is wood and new. Sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo. You bleated after lamb, loose after coffee cow.
Who called?
Here, what's happening in here? Assault and battery this time? Oh, I wish I'd stayed in Lincoln.
Cheer up, Master Ricardo. Travel broadens the mind, you know. Now, help me tie these fellows up.
Full not and bulky verse and merry sing cuckoo. Sing cuckoo, we'll sing a foul cuckoo. We'll sing a foul cuckoo.
Have you nearly finished up here?
Yes. All main chambers, passages, and staircases have been well and truly cleaned.
Good.
Except, of course, the great hall.
We haven't much time. The sun will be up in half an hour.
You'll do it all right, if you all keep on working as hard as you have been. Now, follow me and don't make a sound. We'll have to get Sir Charles out of the way first.
Come on!
You bleaters after lamb, look after coffee cow. Full of started bulky verse and merry sing cuckoo. Sing cuckoo, so sing a foul cuckoo. So sing a foul cuckoo. Sir Charles, the party's over. I'm beginning to feel just a little bit tired.
What's that? What?
Bed, Sir Charles. It's time for bed.
Bed? Oh, great heavens. Must be nearly sunrise. My dear Lady Marian, 1,000 apologies. I must have dropped off.
Never mind, you can sleep till dinner time.
Yes, yes, we both can. I mean, it'll give the servants a chance to clean up the place.
Oh, so they do clean it sometimes.
Oh, yes, indeed. And as today is Lady Day, there's nothing to stop them from making the whole place shine like a new pin.
Bolt the upper door, Master Ricardo. We don't want to be disturbed for half an hour.
This way, Lady Marian.
Oh, don't bother to show me. I know the room well. I used to come to Loxley as a child.
Nevertheless, it is my duty as your host to escort you to your bedchamber.
I'd much rather you didn't. You must be so tired. Look, why don't you just fall into bed and forget about everything until dinner time?
No, I insist. This way, if you please. Now, I'm sorry about the state of this room. I afraid won't even find a fire. Look at this. This table's been polished. It's been polished. Floor's wet. It's been scrubbed. Open this door. I know what you're doing in there.
How much longer?
About 10 minutes.
Keep on working. I need to use a battering ram to break this door down.
But what's going to happen to you when they do? Sir Charles will hand you over to the sheriff's men.
Never mind about me.
But,
Shh. I'll hear what they're saying.
What are you going to do now, Sir Charles?
Go and find something to use as a battering ram. But don't just stand there, move.
A battering ram to break down the door?
Yes.
Dear, I can't bear to see Loxley Hall damaged. I'll go for a ride till it's all over. I'll borrow one of your horses from the stables. Don't bother to see me out. I'll go by the little side gate.
Quickly now. Quickly. Break that door down and turn them out before they can finish their work. Now then, 1, 2, 3... And...
all finished, Master Robin.
Robin Hood? Well, after him. Don't let him get away. Well, now, I don't know what your excuses are, but What's that?
The great bell of Loxley, Sir Charles, ringing in accordance with the terms of the will, to confirm these men in their tenancies.
When shall we see Loxley again, Robin?
When we return as Lord and Lady of the Manor.
Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men, feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood,